Good afternoon, everyone, especially those of you that are listening or will have an opportunity to listen to me, to hear this message in the contraption called Nigeria. And to my friends and fellow Yorubans all over the world, good afternoon, good evening, and probably good morning, depending on where you're watching me from. Today in America, no one is going anywhere. All the governmental offices, all the schools in all the 50 states in America today, they're at home, they're outside rallying and doing whatever they want to do. But there's no job today. There's no school today. And today is not Independent Day of United States of America. So ask me what is actually happening. Today is the 16th of January, 2023. And on every third Monday, every year, in the last 15, 20 years ago, this day is set aside. This day is celebrated just because of one man. And the name of that man is Dr. Martin Luther King. A normal human being like you and I, an ordinary human being, but a unique human being. He's a pastor, an erudite, educated man with a lot of guts. With a lot of guts. He has the fear of God, but he cares so much about humanity. Martin Luther King was a man who believed in equality, who believed in fair treatment, who believed that God created every one of us equally. We might have gotten here and become millionaires, doctors, lawyers, or whatever, but we are created equally. And when the black Americans in the United States, and I knew that it wasn't just the black Americans in the United States that was fighting for. It was fighting for justice for blacks everywhere in the hemisphere. But because he was born in America, he was particular about the ill treatment that the Americans, the white Americans, were dishing out to the black Americans. Because their descendants were slaves brought all the way from Africa, of which 20 million of them were brought from Nigeria. Shame to the kings and those who sold their fellow human beings. At any rate, this man, Dr. Martin Luther King, an ordinary human being like you and I, but a man full of fear of God and full of love for mankind, spoke, fought, rallied, and he always preached non-violence. But the white would not want it to be. So it was eventually terminated, assassinated. They got him out of the way. But what I want to let you know is that that movement never went dead. People are still rioting, are still rallying against injustice in this country, in America. But that being said, I want, especially you Yoruba, like me, who is now at home, can you see or can you mention any single leader that is fighting for the liberation, for the self-determination of the Yoruba people? Let me start with our ex-president Obasanjo. President Obasanjo, you are blessed. I will not say you are lucky, because no man can have that kind of luck. You are blessed at 2 different occasions to rule that country. And look at what that country is today. Because when you were there, sir, you might think you did your best, but your best was not good enough, sir. Look at what you did. It was on your watch. On your watch. That your Attorney General, Bola Ige, was murdered. Nobody had been brought to justice. You were there when the 1999 useless slave trending document called the Constitution was established. And you know there were 68 exclusives that cannot be touched. Ex-President Obasanjo, what did you do about it? You are a soldier man and you are not stoic. You are a soldier man, but you have lost your guts. You are a soldier man, you have no balls, sir. And you are a soldier man, you are not courageous because you fear death. But sir, with all due respect, that death will come one day and you cannot pay enough for it not to come. It is a portion to a man to die once, and after that is judgment. Ex-President Obasanjo, I don't know what kind of judgment you are going to receive from God. But what is going on in that contraption called Nigeria? You play a major role and a very reprehensible role in it, sir. And look at where we are today, sir. Do you suppose that when you are gone, you may be gone in the next 20, 30 years, but whenever you are gone, sir, you think anybody among us, especially we genuine agitators, you think we're going to apportion a day to memorialize you, sir? It is not going to happen. It is not going to happen, sir. It will not happen. Because your hands are not clean, sir. And your heart is not white. The killings going on in Nigeria, you could have initiated all kinds of ways, means, militarily, administratively, or otherwise. But you're running around trying to be the best man that knows it all. And what has that earned you, sir? What has it earned you? Fulanis were killing here and there. What can you do? You can't even stop them. All your ideas were bonkers. Nobody even listens to you anymore. Nobody listens. Nobody. You want to be a kingmaker. Today is Yaradua. Tomorrow is Obi. But did you put a foundation there that will make these people effective and efficient to run this country? You know all the contraptions that you have put there. That even when they get there, they may not be able to do their job as honorably and as efficiently and effectively as they should because of what you have put in place. Sir, the time is not far. If you think it's going to be far, it may be nearer than you think. Sir, you need to sit down with your own cabal and find a way where the Yoruba nation, I know you say you don't believe it, that you don't believe that Nigeria should be split. Sir, were you married to one wife in the last 50, 60 years? Did you not have more than 3, 4 wives? Why did you divorce your first wife? So why would you think that Nigerians that are made of conglomerate nations, the Igbo nation, the Yoruba nation, the Middle Belters, the Benue, the Tiv, and whatever nations that is embedded in that country called Nigeria, as a result of the useless Amalgamation Treaty of 1914. And you know, sir, that in year 2014, that Amalgamation Treaty had expired. What did you do? Did you go back to your friends in the nations, civilized nations, to tell them this is over? Let's sit down, have a referendum, and see whether people still want to be under that name called Nigeria. You didn't do anything about it, sir. You yourself had an opportunity twice to reconcile all the anomalies, all the aberrations in that nation. But you did not, because you want to play God. But sir, with all due respect, you are not God. You cannot be God. And there's time in the life of every man when he shall cry, and a time when he shall smile. A time when he can dance, and a time when he needs to be sober. This is the time that you need to be sober and to let the fear of God begin to work in you, sir. Because you have done so much mess in that country. And somebody is going to ask you one day what you have done with the time, the opportunity, the talent or the asset that you are given. Somebody is going to ask you. It may not, it won't be me, but somebody greater, higher, mightier than you will ask you the role you played in this country called Nigeria. Okay, my people, my Yoruba people, that you know that you are genuine. I want you to listen, move nearer, and listen to me. Those of you that are clamoring, we want election. We want 2023 election. You don't know what is coming. And I don't think you are thinking right. You are not thinking right. A lot of you want to vote for Atiku because you think it's better than Tinubu is articulate. Mr. Atiku Abubakar ruined the customs. This was a man when he was a vice president. He sold off all the assets, Nigerian assets, and he pocketed all the money. And from ex-president Obasanjo, this is a man that what he has stolen, he will be able to spend it for the next 100 years. And that is the man you all want to vote for. My Yoruba, intelligent people, God-fearing people. You are called Omoluabi, but where is your Omoluabi? When you want to install a thief, a rogue, treasury looter as your president, your next president. He was a vice president, and his boss did not trust him. Neither could he say any give him any accolade, any positive accolade. And yet, you Yorubas are behind him. You are the spokesperson. Mr. Okowa, I am so ashamed of you. Biafrans are fighting, tooth and nail, being killed every day. And you want to be the vice president of a thief? You are so proud to be a vice president of a man who looted a whole gamut of institutions in Nigeria. That is the man you want to stand by as his vice president. Shame on you, sir. Shame on you. Shame. You are a disgrace to the Biafran people. And my Yoruba people, siding with Emilokon. Let me tell you, for that word, Emi, there's nobody that is called Emi. Jesus Christ is the only man that has said, I am that I am. I'm the true vine. I'm the true shepherd. I'm the light. I'm the way, the truth, and the life. There is nobody in life that is called Emi. Emi belongs to Jesus. So Emiloko has even blasphemed himself and blasphemed God. Whatever he says regarding his son, it's a blasphemy. Because we have millions of people that are 100 times better than him. And let me tell you, you are going to get what you are asking for. If this man called Tinubu, click the ticket. I'm hoping that nothing will happen. But if he ends up being the president, you know you have not voted for him. You have voted for Kashim Shettima. Because I tell you, without a shadow of doubt, the Fulanis will kill him. They are going to kill him. And that's why they give him a Muslim Boko Haram supporter. So that when they get him out of the way, Shettima can be the president. I am so sorry for you too. Because at the end of the day, all the money stolen, all the assets acquired and accumulated, you are not taking anything out of this world. You all call it Tinubu Asiwaju? Asiwaju who? Is that the kind of children that you have, that you want him to emulate? Your children, you want them to emulate Tinubu? That's their leader. That authoritarian, they call him Jagabandit. He call himself Jagaban. What is Jagaban in any sensible word? Where is that in the dictionary? But I tell you what, it's actually a Jagabandit. Jaga nuisance. Jaga madness. Jaga addicts. You want a president from the Yoruba tribe to represent Nigeria. But this is the same man that America is looking for peddling drugs. Heroin. We are by over $466 million or thousand, I guess. $466,000 was seized from him. Why? Because they were drug money. That was a drug money. He didn't contest it. And that's the man, a Yoruba man, a disgraceful man, a drug addict, a treasury looter, the Oga of the Agberos, the Oga of the assassins. He equipped MC Oluomo, Koko Zaria. He turned them into administrators, chairmen in Lagos Island. Why? Because these are his goons, his stooges, his agents, his assassins, his murderers. He equipped them and he loaded them with money so that they can do his bidding. They can do his bidding. They can do his say-so. They can do his command. And my Yoruba people, if you're real true Yoruba, you should sit down and think about what you're doing. That is the man you want to present. That is the man you want to vote for to represent you. And that's the man you want your children to emulate. Maybe by the time your children emulate him, they'll be able to stay not only Nigeria, they probably will go to Sierra Leone and Ghana and steal from them too. Is that what you want? You think Ashwaju is going to be 80 years? It's 80-year-old this year. That is the president. The one that is waiting himself, that needs to go to a country where they can refresh him, they can energize him, they can resuscitate him. He wants to be the president of Nigeria in that state of mind. Parkinson or amnesia or whatever he has. Do you think that is the kind of man who has integrity enough to rule either Nigeria or even Yoruba nation? And yet, you Yorubas that I don't even know what to call you, you keep saying that is the person you want for Nigerian presidency. I'm ashamed of some of you. As a matter of fact, it has even passed shame. I'm saddened. I'm saddened by your lack of wisdom, by your lack of godliness. It is as if we have lost our humanity. When some of you haven't seen what the Fulanis are doing and how Tinubu and his cohorts are collaborating, giving them free hands to do whatever they want in Lagos and in other Yoruba states, and you still insist that this is the man you want. Is it because you fear money, you love money more than God, you have no fear of God? But have you forgotten that this so-called money that Tinubu is sharing comes from the pocket of the state that you belong to? If you're a Lagosian, it's your money that is spending. And yet, none of you can sit down and think about all these things. There's no cause on you. It's your greed. Because I'm a Yoruba person like you. and I do not have money, but I'm not hungry. I'm not starving. I do not have mansion, but I'm not living under the bridge. Those of you that are living under the bridge, rather than getting yourself up, pulling yourself up by the straps of the boot, and fight this illegitimacy. Fight this satanic running down of our nation. You kept insisting that Tinubu must be president. Are we sick? Are we crazy? Are we stupid? Or we are all the combination? What is wrong with us? Sometimes I ask myself, are we really intelligent? How can we be intelligent and we allow all the aberration, all the anomalies that is going on and being perpetrated by one of our own, and we cannot stop him in his track? There's something wrong with us. Not mentally, but spiritually, there's some sense of sickness. There's some kind of bondage that seems to have strapped some people down, and you cannot think anymore. Come 2023, which we are in it right now, in less than 2 months, they're going to vote, and you want to go out and use your PVC, that permanent violent card, for Tinubu to become president. Then if he did become the president, it's not only your children that will suffer, but even your unborn children, they'll be slaves to the Fulanis, because that's the mission, and you are playing right into their hands. But the God that I serve, who sees the heart of man and know that is dastardly wicked, will not allow you to succeed in this your satanic mission. Tinubu will not be our president. I'm not a Nigerian now. I'm a Yoruba. But that country is still Nigeria, called Nigeria. But God has already dissolved it. You're all just wasting your time. It's a matter of time. Yes, the Yoruba nation might have suffered some setback. It's part of it. Everywhere in the world, freedom is not won overnight. But we will go, whether you like it or not. Obedience. I'm impressed with your sagacious attitude, but it's not well placed. I would have expected you, after seeing what is going on in Nigeria, to clamor for Biafra nation, so that all the ideas that you have, the temerity that you have, the boldness that you have, you will go and utilize it there. I know you have a lot of ideas. You have the time. You are young. And to some extent, I can say that you're a good man. But you're in the wrong lane. That's not the lane you should be treading. So, my Yoruba people, my genuine agitators, activists, bloggers, keep on drumming it in the ears of those who will hear. That election is an election of calamity. That election is an election of destruction. Because the Fulanis are planning to ravage that country. And you may not know it, but when the avalanche comes, you will not be able to contain the onslaught. And that is why, whoever have ears, listen now. Sit down at home and let these people finish themselves. If you Yorubas can just sit at home for that one day and not go out and vote for any one of these candidates, they are all charlatans. They are all charlatans. Who is Kwakwanso? Another Fulani that has stolen enough and he wants to be your ruler. We have no leader. So far, I haven't seen any that emerged. They are all authoritarian. and they're trying to bring in their autocrat rules and policies. And through that, they may even become totalitarians, despots. And that's the kind of people you people want to vote for. Errori yo, ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá, ó ṣe mí láàánú pé ládùúrú gbogbo ohun tí ẹ̀ ń rí ní gbogbo orílẹ̀ Yorùbá state. Ẹ ṣe ń gbìmọ̀ pọ̀ láti lè fẹ́ vote fún Tinubu. Tinubu tó ti jẹ́ pé gbogbo Èkó ló ti kó sápò ẹ̀. Gbogbo position jankan ẹbí ara ẹ̀ ló ń kó fún. Ó sọ àwọn ọmọ ìlú ẹ̀, ó sọ wọ́n di chairman Nigeria women torí pé wọ́n ń pààyàn fún. Ẹ̀dẹ̀ ṣe òun náà lè fẹ́ vote fún. Ìyẹn ni pé ẹ̀yin gan ò ní bẹ̀rù Ọlọ́run. Ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń sọ pé Tinubu ló kàn àwa ló kàn. Báwo ló ṣe kàn yín? Tó bá wá jẹ́ pé Yorùbá ló kàn, ṣé Tinubu ló yẹ kẹfà sílẹ̀? Tí ò bá jẹ́ pé wọ́n bá yín wí, Tinubu ó dẹ́kọ̀ ó sọ Èkó 3/4 of Èkó àpò Tinubu ló wà. Ṣé bó ṣe ń rán ọ̀nà ìjọba nìyẹn? Ó sọ àwọn ọmọ ológo, ó sọ wọ́n dolòṣìkalẹ̀, ó sọ wọ́n di ọmọ yahoo yahoo, ó wá kó agbára, ó kò lé àwọn ọmọ apààyàn lọ́wọ́. Ṣé MC Olú Tinubu di president sì kò ní lóun fẹ́ jẹ́ chairman of something. Ẹni tó yọ pé gbogbo ohun tó mọ̀ kò ju pé kó máa pààyàn lọ. Ẹni tẹ́ fẹ́ gbé àwọn tẹ́ fẹ́ kó ṣèjọba fún yín nìyẹn. Ẹ rórí yín o. Èpè ò já wá o. Ẹ̀yin lórí yín ò fẹ́ pé o. Tọ́nà ń sọ pé bẹ́yẹ èpè wà lórí àwọn Yorùbá. Èpè kankan ò sí lórí ọmọ Yorùbá. Ẹ̀yin oníjẹkújẹ, ajẹkẹ́ni máyò, ajẹmúni lọ́wọ́ dání. Tí ó dàbẹ̀ ń pé orí yín ò pé kò fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́ mọ́. Ẹ ti gbé orí yín, ọpọlọ yín, ẹ ti gbé léṣù lọ́wọ́. Téṣù bá dẹ̀ ń bá yàn jẹun, ìparun náà ló fẹ́ fún yín. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá tẹ́ ń pariwo èmi ló kàn o. Tẹ́ ń pè láṣíwájú, aṣíwájú àwọn wo? Aṣíwájú àwọn olè, àwọn apààyàn, àwọn atọ́lé. Aṣíwájú ta ni? Ta ló fẹ́ tẹ̀lé? Èwo nínú yín lẹ fẹ́ kí ọmọ yín rí bí káyé ẹ̀ rí bí ayé Tinubu? Tó ṣùgbọ́n tó pé Tinubu lẹ fẹ́. Àtọmọ yín àti ìrandíran yín, gbogbo ohun tó bá ṣẹlẹ̀ sí Tinubu ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀ sí yín. Ẹ mọ̀ pé owó nìkan kan ló fi ń ṣe ilé ayé. Ẹ ní bẹ̀rù Ọlọ́run ni o. Tẹ́ bá ní bẹ̀rù Ọlọ́run, tí Tinubu bá gbé 10 million fún yín, tẹ́ bá gba ẹ̀ ní ṣe tó ní kẹ́ ṣe. Tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá gba ẹ̀ ní ṣe tó ní kẹ́ ṣe. Ṣùgbọ́n kó má tí fún yín 5,000. Tó bá ní kẹ́ lọ pààyàn wá ẹ̀ lọ pààyàn fún. Ìjọba ọ̀run kù sí dẹ̀dẹ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ mi ò pọ̀ lẹ́ni o. Ṣùgbọ́n mo fẹ́ sọ fún yín pé ní èní ní Amẹ́ríkà, one man, the whole 50 states wọ́n celebrate ẹ̀ náwó sí gbogbo àwọn autocratic rulers tá ní èwo ni a fẹ́ dúró fún tó bá yẹ̀ lẹ́yìn bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀. Àwọn bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀, àwọn Ajásin, àwọn Lateef Jákàndé, àwọn Abraham Adésànyà kì í ṣerú àwọn Tinubu, kì í ṣerú Ọbásanjọ́, kì í ṣe bí Gbajabiamila, kì í ṣe Sanwó-Olú. Lamala afẹ́ rántí after tán bá lọ tán ìrandíran wọn á sì máa jẹ ìyà yẹn. Èpè á sì máa bá wọn torí èpè ni àwọn aráàlú ń fún yín. Tinubu, Ọlọ́run gbà fún ẹ ṣùgbọ́n ò tó Ọlọ́run. Ọlọ́run là ń pè ní ọlọ́wọ́ gbọgbọrọ tó ń yọ ọmọ inú ọ̀fìn. Ọlọ́run á yọ àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá kó inú ọ̀fìn. Ọlọ́run àríbítí, Ọlọ́run àràbàtà, Ọlọ́run àríjà má ṣàrógun má ṣọ̀lẹ. Gbogbo ogun tó bá gbé tó ló fẹ́ fi bá ti àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá jẹ́, ogun náà wọnú ilé tiẹ̀. Tọmọtọmọ láti ìran kìíní ẹ títí dé ìran kẹrin, Ọlọ́run á gbé ogun wọnú ilé ẹ torí pé ìka ènìyàn ni ẹ. Èmi ló kàn, ìwọ ló kàn. I, me and myself nìkan ló mọ̀. You are a very selfish man, self-centered. Ṣùgbọ́n mi ò sún blame ẹ̀. Wọ́n ní ọmọ ojú ọ̀rọ̀ lárí tó bá rí ọlá a máa ṣe bàṣubàṣu, a máa gún gàràgàrà. Tó máa fi owó tó yín ní bàbá Tinubu, tó máa tiẹ̀ la owó mọ́ yín lórí, ẹ gbà lọ́wọ́ ẹ gbélé ṣùgbọ́n gbà tẹ́ ẹ rówó rí táwọn tó níyàn fowó tọ́ yín òkókó lẹ̀ nífẹ̀ẹ́ kó gbogbo owó Nàìjíríà wọ́n kí lè fẹ́ fi ṣe. mo wò yín látòkè délẹ̀ kò sí àwọ̀ ọlá kò sí àwọ̀ yìí kankan lára yín Ọlọ́run ti pa Basira ó ti pa mọ́ yín lára pẹ̀lú gbogbo owó tẹ́ jí. You're supposed to be a billionaire. What have you done? Tí a máa fi rántí yín lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. Ṣé Lekki toll gate ẹ kú tẹ́ pé ẹ̀jẹ̀ àwọn ọmọ ènìyàn ẹ̀ta síbẹ̀ àbí alpha beta tó ń jí owó fún yín ẹ bọ́ lọ́run lẹ́sẹ̀ méjì. Òun ni Ọlọ́run à ń pè ní àrí ìró àlà alápá kábíkábí Ọlọ́run ti ká ibi apá yín gbogbo ibi tí ẹ bá mọ̀. Bàbá Tinubu ẹ máa ṣe babaláwo yín máa kú oníṣègùn yín máa rọrùn ikú máa padàhùn ṣe yín ẹ̀yin gangan máa kú ẹ máa kú kẹ́ pé 120 láyé. You are going to die one day and after that it is punishment, it is judgment. So èyí tó kù lé ayé yín tí ẹ bá lọ jókòó kẹ́ rorí kẹ́ súnmọ́ Ọlọ́run kẹ́ tọrọ ìdáríjì ẹ̀ṣẹ̀. Bàbá Tinubu ẹ bọ́ lọ́run lẹ́sẹ̀ gbèjì ẹ mọ̀ yìí pé Ọlọ́run yìí òun là ń pè ní kábíyèsí òun ní kábíyèsí tó bá bà lẹ́yìn ní orí ìrandíran yìí ò ní bọ́ níbẹ̀. Kì í ṣe pé ó wà nínú Bíbélì ni o. Bíbélì ni ẹ sọ fún ẹni búburú ipe kò lè dára fún wọn pọ̀tẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ lọ́lá ṣùgbọ́n kò lè dára fún yín. Tẹ́ bá mọ ìtumọ̀ pé kó dára fún yàn àtúbọ̀tún èèyàn alẹ́ yín tí ò bá sàn yín ẹ live well. Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ó ti ń ti ìbàjẹ́ ó ti ń tì sínú ọ̀rọ̀ yín. Tẹ́ bá kú re tẹ́ ẹ bá sùn re ńkọ́ ẹ lọ́wọ́ ẹ lálùbáríkà àlùbáríkà ò sínú ọ̀rọ̀ yín mọ́ o torí pé kí ni gbogbo ayé ti mọ irú èèyàn tí ẹ jẹ́ wọ́n dẹ̀ ń fún yín ní èpè. Àwọn tó ń jẹ ní abẹ́ yín gan nítorí pé ẹ̀ ń fún wọn lówó tó ń jẹ ayé wọn ò lè láyọ̀ kò lè sí joy ńbẹ̀. Ayé rádaràda játijàti ni kò sí iye tẹ́ fún wọn tó máa fi níláárí. Wọ́n ṣe ń gbà náà lọ́nà tó ń bá fi mú gbó wọ́n á fi gbóbìnrin wọ́n á fi fẹ́yàwó wọ́n á fi gbóyè. That is it. Ṣé ayé rádaràda tó ń fẹ́ live náà ni torí pé wọ́n fẹ́ support yín. Ọ̀rọ̀ mi ò pọ̀ lẹ́ni ẹ bọ́ lọ́hùn bẹ̀ àtẹ̀yìn àti àwọn cohort yín àtàwọn agent yín àtàwọn aslika assockers yín gbogbo yín lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run ló máa mú. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá gidi tẹ́ gbọ́ tèmi lórí ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà yẹn ẹ má jáde níjọ́ ìbò kankan ẹ jókòó kẹ́ máa dúpẹ́ kẹ́ máa gbàdúrà sí Ọlọ́run kí ọwọ́ agbára Ọlọ́run kó mú àwa Yorùbá kó mú wa dání. Ó dìgbà kan náà ẹ ṣé ẹ̀yin ará mi ó dàbọ̀.